Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 1025th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. Just to say, those of you that watched last Wednesday's battle, you would have seen a Barbarian invasion Rome v Rome battle. And I thought, as a bit of a contrast here, and something you might find interesting, that I would put a Rome Total War Rome versus Rome battle on, so you can kind of compare, the battle that you watched last Wednesday with this one. Now, last Wednesday, the Barbarian invasion Roman army got 70k each because Roman units are more expensive there, and this battle is 50k each. You'll see it's being played on the Germanic Forest map, one of our old school maps there, with the flat ground or the woods there as well, if you want to spring those nasty ambushes. Okay, so it's one of our old school maps. Okay, so our first teammate is Brotherhood member Fesen. Now, he's got 6 cavalry and 14 infantry. Okay, 6 cavalry and 14 infantry. Remember, this is for 50,000 denarii each. Okay, so a lot of units will be fully upgraded. Okay, just wanted to show you here. Can you see that in Fesen's army, he's got 2 morale boosting eagle units there, plus his infantry general. Okay, so he's got 3 lots of morale radiating from these units here to keep his troops fighting longer. And you'll find that, I think you'll find that most of the cavalry in this game will be fully upgraded, like these guys. 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack, lifts them out of the elite bracket into the super cavalry bracket there. Okay, so that's Fesen's 50k army. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Scorpion King SR. He's called himself a Prest, I think, but it is Scorpion King SR. Now, he's got 13 infantry, 1 dog unit, and 6 cavalry. But I'd just like to show you here, can you see that he's also got an eagle unit there to radiate morale to his troops, as well as his infantry general. So he's got 2 units there, giving morale to his troops. And you'll see that most of his infantry, if not all of it, is fully upgraded. 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And I'm guessing his cavalry are going to be the same as well. There you are, fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry, the same as Fesen's there. As I say, with 50k each, you'll find that most units are going to be fully upgraded there. Okay, so that's Scorpion King's 50k Roman army. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Mantu. You know, he's also got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, once again, I'm guessing that most of his units will be fully upgraded. There you'll see his infantry there, 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack, and I'm guessing his cavalry are fully upgraded as well. There you are, 9 upgrades, 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So that's Mantu's army there. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander. I've also got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry, but in my army I've actually got 2 eagle units as well. Once again, these 2 units will be radiating morale as well as my general unit. So I've got 3 units there giving morale to my troops and my allies' troops. Also, do you notice that we're all SBQR purple, so you'll be able to recognize our units right from the start. And here is the other team. We have RTW player Barclayman. Now, he's got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. But there's something that I think you might find interesting with his battle formation here. If you notice, there is 2 forward pilot shield units. 1 is a town watch unit there, and 1 is an eagle unit that he's put there as well. So I just thought that was unusual pilot shield units there for a 50k each battle. I don't know what all of you are thinking there. And I notice he's got no upgrades on either of those units. So that tells me that all his infantry will be fully upgraded there. And his cavalry will be as well. So that is Barclayman's 50k army. Their next teammate is RTW player Sultan Adnan. Now, he has also got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry, but you'll notice he's got no eagle units. He's got no extra morale boosting eagle units in his army. Their next teammate is someone who's called himself Reptilian Commander, but is in fact Brotherhood member Royer. Now, he's got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry as well. Okay, And you'll notice that he's actually got a morale boosting eagle unit as well in his army. So he's got 2 morale boosting units there along with his infantry general. Okay, so that is a Royer's army there. And their last teammate is RTW player Varus. Okay, and Varus has also got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry, but as you can see, the majority of his army is hiding in the woods there. Okay, so that is Varus's army. As I say, the rest of them will be hiding in the woods. And just to say, it'll be interesting to see this battle in comparison to the Rome v Rome battle on Barbarian Invasion. Those of you that watched that last Wednesday, I think you may well see, a difference here. And of course, in Rome Total War, we've got 50k each. In the Barbarian Invasion game, it was 70k each. But that's because Roman units on Barbarian Invasions are more expensive. Okay, at this early stage of the battle, I thought you might like to see Scorpion King's battle formation here, something a bit unusual. You'll see that he's got actually 2 eagle units there, if you notice, as pilot shield units, along with this urban cohort unit that is kind of sticking out, protruding, if you like, there. And I just thought you might find that quite interesting as the battle formation. Over here, you'll see that Fesen is putting his cavalry into the woods. I should imagine he's hoping that he's going to hide those units there and hope that the enemy forget that he's got cavalry in the woods so he can spring one of those nasty ambushes that we often talk about. And as I say, you'll see that we're all forming up here. And as I said earlier, all our team are SBQR purple. Okay, so you'll be able to see what's happening in regard of the teams. And there you can see that the enemy are Scipii, Brutii, and Julii there. So if you just remember that all our team is purple there, you'll be able to see exactly what's going on during the course of the battle. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle, you'll see that Scorpion King has moved closer to Sultan's red Julia army there, and you'll see that Sultan is realigning his battle formation there to face Scorpion King, who's just aggressively moved in on him there. Right, pause the game for a second here. Okay, so as I said, our team are the purple SBQR there. So just at a glance during the course of the battle, when it really gets going, you'll be able to tell who's who. And you can see the enemy are the Scipii, the Brutii, and the Julii there. So they're all the different colours there. And as I say, just as a heads up to you, you can see that we are the purple SBQR. Right, you'll see Scorpion King here. Now, we know that Scorpion King is one of the most aggressive and attacking players in the game. Here you are, he set the dogs on Sultan's infantry there. Fancy doing that, setting the dogs on the enemy troops there. And you can see the dogs there fighting the forward units of Sultan's battle formation there. And if you notice there, Sultan's moving back a little bit. Just want to show you here a little tactic by Barclayman there, putting his Town Watch, the second cheapest unit in the game, I believe, there, hoping to attract expensive pilers from our elite infantry there. Okay, he's just hoping that someone's put their units on auto fire, and he's just hoping that, as I say, he's going to attract expensive pilers onto the second cheapest unit in the game. So hopefully my allies will be switched on and not do that. There you are, you can see that Mantu, I believe, has put a couple of his units, his forward units, into Testudo. Remember, the Roman units on Barbarian Invasion can't form Testudo. So the only time you'll see Testudo out the 2 games is on RTW. And you'll see Mantu, as I said, has put 2 of his units into Testudo. Here's a nice cavalry hit by Mantu, and bang! Hit Barclayman's Town Watch unit there. As I say, it's ever so easy for some people to put their units on auto fire, and then a cheap little unit like that runs out in front of your troops, and you're throwing expensive pilers into that cheap unit. So that was a good move there by Mantu, just to take that Town Watch unit out. But here you'll see during the course of this battle, you'll see quite a lot of pilot exchanging going on, which is just what you would expect, isn't it, between 2 Roman armies there. 2 Roman teams there. And as I say, Sultan can be a very aggressive player as well, so it wouldn't surprise me if the battle kicked off here on this this right flank of ours. It wouldn't surprise me 1 minute. Here you can see them throwing pilers into that Testudo unit there. Can you see they were throwing pilers into Scorpion King, who's also put a unit into Testudo in front of his main battle formation. And just those of you that might not have seen a Testudo forming up, there you are. I thought I'd show you this. And this is a bit of an unusual one because you'll see units coming in from behind there as they form up. Normally you see a unit that's close and tight form up together there, but you can see soldiers coming in from behind there just to complete the Testudo there. And as I say, with these two armies facing each other there, Sultan and Scorpion King, as I say, it wouldn't surprise me if the battle kicked off there. Meanwhile, over on our left flank, you'll see my army there is facing Varus, is Scipii, blue Scipii army there. So be interested to see what happens. You can see, as I say, Mantu putting those two units in Testudo there, hoping that the enemy will throw pilers at it. Oh my god, bang! As I think Royer there has just charged one of his cavalry units into that Testudo unit. Now, not only is he attacking that Testudo unit, what he's trying to also do is attract pilers from our team as well. Okay, now those pilers obviously will damage that cavalry unit, but the more pilers that are thrown in there, the less there will be to kind of neutralize his infantry when he decides to attack. But that was a very aggressive. It wouldn't surprise me if Royer actually turned that cavalry unit around and charged it back in, because Royer is a very, there you are, look. He turned that cavalry unit back in and bang, smashed it straight back in to one of Mantu's units in Testudo there. A very, very aggressive attacking move there by Royer. Very aggressive. Now, my guess is he's going to lose that cavalry unit, but remember, this is a 50k game, so that cavalry unit is probably fully upgraded. So he knows that that unit's going to keep fighting for a long time. Right, he's pulled that cavalry unit back out, charged it back in again, look. Can you see? Once again, I think he knows that that cavalry unit is basically going to die, and I think he's just trying to draw as many pilers from our team onto that unit as he can. So that's quite a good tactical move there. It wouldn't surprise me if he charged that unit into that other Testudo unit. Right, pause the game for a second. So that's why he's got that unit there. He's hoping to attract our pilers onto that unit. He knows that that unit's dead, so if he can get us to throw pilers into that unit, and obviously that's less pilers we've got to throw into his infantry. As I say, it wouldn't surprise me if he attacked that. There you are, look. He's going to attack that Testudo unit, and bang, as he charges in there. But I think that'll be the end of that cavalry unit now. There's just 3 men left in there. I think they'll just go. There you are. They've all gone down, and that other one is routed there. So a very, very aggressive move there by Royer, and very suicidal for that cavalry unit, but maybe he got out of it what he wanted. Please put your thoughts in the comments on that. Okay, so just pause the game for a second here. So over on our right flank, you'll see that you've got Sultan's cavalry and you've got Barclayman's cavalry there. Okay, so you've got 12 units of cavalry, but we've also got Scorpion King's cavalry, and we've got Fesen's cavalry as well to counter their cavalry. You'll notice that Sultan's got his cavalry in wedge formation at the moment, so he's got them locked and loaded and will have his finger on the trigger ready to pull at any time. But as I say, here on our right flank could be a very, very aggressive part of the battlefield. Right, here's a nice cavalry hit going in there, like a bang, as he throws that cavalry unit into that very battle damaged unit there of Sultan's. There you'll see that Sultan's units are throwing pilers there. So I think Scorpion King would have suffered some casualties there. I can see some dead cavalry there, but he was hoping to take that unit out there. As I say, in a 50k each Roman battle, there will be a heck of a lot of pilot exchanging going on. So as I say, over here on our left flank, you can see here that Varus now, just going to pause the game for a second here, Varus has now decided to move his infantry from that flank possibly to the other flank there. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing here is moving round there so that my army is facing the flank of the enemy troops there. And also I'm hoping to cause a bit of disruption so that they're going to have to watch my army as well as looking out on the rest of the battlefield there, if you see what I mean. Just want to be a bit of a distraction and like kind of a little bit of a harassment there on this flank. As you say, straight away, as soon as I saw Varus moving his army, looking to move over to the other flank, that was it. I moved my army forward there to try and get onto the flank of the enemy troops. As I say, harassing, being a nuisance, distraction is what I'm thinking. I'm just bringing my cavalry over there as well to support my infantry. So there you are, you can see really taking my infantry around the flank of the enemy team. Oh my gosh, look at this for a cavalry hit, and bang, as they smash into Fesen's infantry there. Oh my gosh, Royer, look, once again, is green Brutii troops being extremely aggressive here towards Fesen's infantry. That was a massive cavalry hit that's just gone in there. And you can see very, very aggressive. Right now, I just want to show you a nice move here. You'll see Fesen's infantry are engaged with Royer's green Brutii troops. But what I wanted to show you here, can you see that Fesen has put an eagle unit, not actually fighting, but close by his fighting infantry there, so that they're getting that morale bonus. He's also got his general there that he's moving back from the fray, but that eagle unit will be given a lot of command unit morale boost there to the fighting troops of Fesen. So that was a nice move there. As I say, just look at my SBQR army here on our left flank. Look how aggressive that I'm being with that army of mine there, moving in on their flank. It wouldn't surprise me if Mantu moved his troops forward. There you are. I can see Mantu moving his troops forward as well at the same time. Now, to me, Royer's green Brutii troops there, they look like a big target for us. They're already deeply engaged there. And maybe if we can hit them with our cavalry as well, we could maybe even punch a hole through the centre there. Right, see Royer's green Brutii cavalry going to hit Fesen's infantry. Can you see it coming in there? Get ready for this. Bang! As he smashes in there. Oh my gosh, look at that for the penetration. Look at the penetration of that green Brutii cavalry into Fesen's infantry. Meanwhile, here on our left flank, you'll see that I'm actually doing a surge attack here. I'm actually surging in to the enemy Scipii troops there. As I say, I'm being a nuisance. I'm harassing and haranguing them. Also with my cavalry, I've spotted an opportunity here. Now, can you see the target that I'm going to look to hit? I'm looking to go into the back of these engaged troops of Royers. Okay, so that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to smash in to the rear of those Brutii troops there in a hammer and anvil attack. Fesen's infantry being the anvil, and of course my cavalry being the hammer there. Okay, so see that opportunity there that I've spotted with my cavalry, and that's what I'm looking to do. Let's just see if it's going to be effective or not. Remember, my cavalry is fully upgraded, but remember, in a 50k game, their infantry will be well upgraded as well, and my cavalry's going in, look, bang, as it smashes in to the rear of that Brutii engaged infantry there. And here comes Mantu's cavalry charging in as well to complement my cavalry. Look, bang, as his cavalry smashes in. He's also moving his infantry in as well. Oh my gosh, we've got a chance here to rout the enemy Brutii army. And here comes Scorpion King's cavalry. Scorpion King sending in a couple of his units as well, and he's charging in there. Oh my gosh, bang, as he smashes it in there as well. You can see now that a lot of the Brutii units are starting to rout now, and that was a really good team effort cavalry hit there, straight into Royer's infantry there. And you can see that most of Royer's green Brutii units have now been routed. Okay, so as I say, a nice combination attack there from our team, and we all kind of contributed there. Meanwhile, here you'll see my units. I think I'm facing two Scipii armies, Varus and Barclayman's army, if I'm not mistaken there. Yeah, there you are. There's two Scipii armies I'm facing at the moment. So if I can hold and pin as many units of those as I can, that may well give my allies a chance to you know, punch a hole straight through the centre of their battle line. Meanwhile, over here, you'll see the enemy troops, including infantry and cavalry, are coming round our flank. Now, if you look at our right flank, that could look a little bit exposed to a big roll-up hit there. Can you see they could look to roll us up from right to left there, as all our cavalry now, as I say, trying to concentrate on the centre there, the left centre of our team's battle formations there. Okay, so as I say, you can see a heck of a lot of Royers Green Brutii troops have now been routed. So kind of first blood to us. Great combination attack there by the team. I thought there, you'll see we're all pulling our cavalry back now, ready to lock and load it. And as I say, over on our left flank there, you'll see my army face it, Varus and Barclayman's blue Scipii army there. But as I say, on our right flank, you can see a lot of enemy cavalry have come round there. So what we need to do now is maybe move our cavalry over to that flank to counter the enemy's cavalry there. Okay, you've got Varus and Barclayman's blue Scipii cavalry over there. And if you notice, we are now transferring our cavalry from where we were attacking the left centre of the enemy battle formations there. We're now moving our cavalry over to this right flank to neutralise the enemy blue Scipii cavalry that were coming in there. This is a nice hit here by Sultan's red Julii cavalry there, charging in like a bang as he smashes in there. Oh my gosh. So as I say, a lot going on here on the battlefield at the moment, but it seems to me like we've routed a lot of the Scipii cavalry that came round our right flank. Both Mantu and my cavalry are there, fighting together against the enemy cavalry there. And you'll have Scorpion Kings and Fesen's cavalry fighting over on that right flank. But as I say here, you can see there that you've got Varus's army there, and I believe there are units of Barclayman's infantry there as well. And what I was thinking was Mantu's SBQR troops there could maybe hit the flank of Varus's infantry, and I could attack from the front there possibly. Might be something worth thinking about. If you notice the disposition of that Scipii army there, if Mantu comes in from the right flank there, you see what I mean? And I'll hit them in the front, possibly. But you can see them starting to move back a little bit there. Varus is moving his army back. Okay, so you can see the bulk of our cavalry now, of our team, is over on the right flank. Okay, that is where I think basically all our cavalry is, over on the right flank. You'll see Fesen attacking Sultan's red Julii infantry. Can you see the target that he's going for there with that cavalry? Make no mistake, that is a surgical attack trying to take out Sultan's red Julii general there. Okay, you see the trajectory of his cavalry. He's already got infantry there, and he was hoping that he's going to take out the Julii general, but you'll see that Sultan looking at counter-attack with cavalry and possibly infantry there as well to look after his general. But his general is a little bit exposed there, and you can see that he's been hit right there. You can see the cavalry of Sultan charging in there like a bang as he counter-attacks Fesen's cavalry. There's some Julii infantry been thrown in there as well. Oh my gosh, just look at that. That is a massive... Oh, and here goes the Scipii cavalry charging in. A Varus charging in there as well to reinforce their Julii allies. Teammates there, right? You'll see that my cavalry, I'm counter-attacking with my cavalry as well, and is charging in, and bang! As I hit the Julii infantry there. Get ready, I've got a feeling they're going to counter-attack. I really need to move my cavalry back out the way of that counter-attack. But here they come back in again, and bang! As they smash through there. Oh my god, are they going to break through our battle line just there? They could well do that with that blunt force cavalry charge there. Oh my gosh, right. I just want to show you a nice move here. You'll see that Scorpion King is now moving his cavalry out round the flank there, possibly looking in to get in behind the enemy troops, either to attack maybe these units here, or maybe go into the rear of engaged enemy troops there. Okay, but here you can see a lot of our team SBQR troops there have now been routed. Okay, so you can see a lot of our troops are being routed there by the enemy team. Okay, so here you can see my troops moving forward. Right now, what I want to do, I'm going to give you a heads up on what I'm looking to do here. Can you see I'm moving my SBQR infantry forward? All right, now what I'm looking to do is to try and hit into the rear of Sultan's Red Julio troops, as well as engaging the forward units of Varus there. Okay, so what I do, the forward units of my battle formation, I'm looking to engage the blue Scipio troops, but to take the rest of my infantry into the rear of the engaged Julio troops. You'll see what I mean. Can you see how my forward units are engaging with the Scipio troops? Right, can you see Mantu is also charging his infantry in as well? Okay, so we're both attacking together there. Nice bit of teamwork there by Mantu and myself. Okay, you can see us really pushing in there now. Really pushing in. And over here on our right flank, you can see, oh my gosh, look at the enemy numbers. Just look at the sheer enemy numbers on our SBQR ally there. You can see I'm sending in a couple of my cavalry units to try and help my allies there, and bang, you see Mantu's cavalry coming in there to try and help as well. But you just look at the enemy numbers there on our right flank. Okay, you can see Mantu's going to charge his cavalry in there. But over here, as I said to you a few minutes ago, can you see the bulk of my infantry I'm trying to push in on Sultan's Red Julio infantry. I'll pause again for a second here. So if you notice there, you'll see that Mantu's units are mostly engaging the blue Scipio army, I think, of Varus. Okay, but you'll see the bulk of my infantry I'm taking on into the Red Julio infantry of Sultan there. Okay, but meanwhile, as I say, over on our right flank, you'll see a heck of a lot of our units starting to crack and rout. Okay, so you can see Scipio infantry have come round the flank and got in behind our SBQ, our allies there. And things not looking that good on our right flank, I don't think there. You can just see the enemy numbers there, just throwing them in. I think that's mostly Fesen's and Scorpion King's infantry on our right flank. But you can see a heck of a lot. As I say, just look at our purple SBQR units starting to rout there. Okay, but here you'll see, can you see my infantry now? Do you notice I'm surge attacking? Okay, so I'm doing an old school, old-fashioned surge attack now. You'll see that Mantu's units are engaging the blue Scipio infantry of Varus. Okay, notice that? But I am surge attacking with my infantry into Sultan's Red Julio infantry there. Okay, and you'll see some of Mantu's infantry are helping to attack as well. But I just thought that was interesting for you to see how we're working together there in the left center. Okay, see my infantry surging. Can you see my infantry now? Really old school, old-fashioned surging forward there. I'd love to take out the Julio General. Remember though that units in this game, because it's 50k each, are fully upgraded. So units are not going to rout as easy as they would in an ordinary 31k battle. Okay, so you can see my units there surging through the Julio units there. Okay, so I've surged through them. And what I'd like to do is to get over to the right flank to try and help my allies, because it looks to me like our allies on the right flank there could well be routed at any moment. Okay, so as I say, I'd like to surge through the Red Julio units there and to get to the other flank. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Can you see how I'm moving my units over there? But oh my gosh, now this could be a turning point of the battle. Okay, can you see that basically all of, I think it's Fesen's units there, have now been routed except for his general, but make no mistake, they'll concentrate on taking his general out. So then all those enemy troops are then available to counter attack us. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my troops over to help on that right flank, but I see now that Fesen's general has just been taken out. So what I want to do now is try and kill this Julio general. Let's see if we can find him. There he is. Can you see the Red Julio general there? There he is, and can you see he's surrounded by, I think it's my SBQR troops. Okay, so I'm looking to kill him, take the general morale bonus away from the enemy team. There you are, you can see him fighting there. Completely surrounded by SBQR troops there. He's doing quite well. He's had some, you can see that he's been hit a couple of times. He's been stabbed a couple of times there, but he still seems to be holding. That Julio General really tough. There he is. That's still trying to fight there. Look. just got stabbed there, but I think he'll rout or he'll get taken out, I think there. And he's just routed. In fact, I think that he's just been killed. So once again, can you see me charging my infantry forward there into the enemy troops? There you can see, and look at all those troops of Varus behind us there. See all these units here? He's rallied all these units. I think they were all routed earlier, but he's got all these units now that he can now come into the rear of our engaged troops. So as I say, maybe that victory for the enemy team on the right flank has now caused a turning point in the battle there. But as I say, I'm charging my infantry forward into the enemy Scipii troops there. And you'll see that Mantu is charging his troops forward as well. There you are. Can you see how we're penetrating the enemy units there? See how my SPQR troops there are really penetrating into those blue Scipii infantry. But as I say, just look at Varus's troops that he's brought back from the rallied troops he's brought back. Charging into, I think it's Mantu's infantry there. I think we've still got 2 cavalry units left. I think that's either Fesens or Scorpion Kings. You can see the red Julii cavalry charging in of Sultans, but they are extremely battle damaged there. Okay, so if you notice here, and watch the trajectory of my infantry. Okay, I'm turning and now I'm surge attacking. Okay, I'm doing an old school, old-fashioned surge attack from one side where we've just taken out those Scipii infantry into Varus is rallied infantry there. See how I'm turning from one side to the other. Okay, you'll notice the enemy have got 2 general units there. Okay, so they would be handy for us to take out. But just watch how my infantry is surge attacking from one side to the other. There, can you see? Surge, surge. And remember, when you do the old school, old-fashioned surge attack, you don't just surge once. You wait for your troops to engage, get really integrated with the enemy troops. Then at the right time, you surge again, and you surge again. But you have to get the timing right. But remember that these troops are fully upgraded, so they're not going to rout as easy, as I said earlier, as 31k units. Okay, you can see both Mantu and myself, they're really pushing in on the enemy troops. I think that's Varus's generals just been routed there. Nice SPQR cavalry coming in behind, and bang, as they smash in there. And it looks like our team's managed to go on to win the battle there. But what a tough battle that was. And if we start all the way over here, this is where I was attacking on the left flank. If you remember, Varus pulled his infantry over towards his teammates, and I came in on that left flank. Over here, this is where, if you notice, a lot of green casualties there, Brutii. That's where Royer's army, that's where we smashed through Royer's army there and nearly punched a hole through their battle line there. As we move across the battlefield, you can see more intense fighting just by the piles of dead there. And over here, like you can see, and over here on the right flank, where Scorpion King and Fesen were fighting most of the time, you can see how intense the fighting was there as well. I think if I remember right, Scorpion King just had 3 very battle damaged units left. I think it was 3 units. It might have only been 2 there. 3 units, I think. And basically, and I think all of Fesen's troops had been routed by this stage, if I remember correctly. But he did a great job of holding there on that right flank. Once again, very good job there of holding like he did in Barbarian Invasion, Rome v Rome, if you remember correctly, on that. So as I say here, I think Scorpion King, as I say, got 3 or 4 battle damaged units left, but most of the SPQR troops you can see are Mantu's and myself there. And just that one Scipio unit left there of Varus, which I think Mantu's troops are closing in on there, as you can see. And I think that unit will be routed pretty soon there. Still holding now. Still holding. Just look at that. Just finally routed there. So, did you notice much of a difference between a Rome versus Rome battle on Barbarian Invasion and a Rome versus Rome battle on Rome Total War? Just wondered. Please put your thoughts in the comments. First thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. I thought everybody played really well there. And as I say, it'd be interesting to see if you did notice much of a difference between Barbarian Invasion, Rome versus Rome, and RTW versus Rome. As you can see, it was an average victory there. Okay, I thought it might have been close looking at the units that we had left. And just to say that the highest kills in the game goes to Brotherhood member Mantu. So well done to Mantu there at 1,737 kills. Highest kills in the game. Played really well there, so well done to Mantu. Well done to Barclayman, got some good kills there. He was quite aggressive there, well done to him. Great kills. Well done to Sultan, second highest kills in the battle there. He did well with his Red Julia army. I think that Roy would be a bit disappointed with his kills, but he was very aggressive. And well done to Varus as well, got some good kills as well. So really well played, guys. My kills, not great, not brilliant kills. I mean, I suppose not terrible, but not really great there. So, okay. Well done to Mantu, highest kills in the game, played really well. Well done to Scorpion King, got some good kills as well. There, did really well. And well done to Fesen as well, did very well there as well. Once again, he was holding the right flank like he did in Barbarian Invasion, wasn't he? Holding the enemy troops up as long as he could there. So as I say, I thought I should show this battle just to see if any of you can see a difference, much of a difference between Rome versus Rome on Barbarian Invasion and Rome versus Rome on RTW. Please put your thoughts in the comments. I just thought it was an interesting contrast for you to be able to see both kind of the same battle but within different games like. So please put your thoughts in the comments. I'll be very interested to read what you think about this battle. I look forward to seeing you soon, and bye for now.